YouTube. Time for another RegTech demo for you. I have Yanis Kralis on the line. He's the co-founder of a tool called Hyperscan, an AI sourcing tool for recruiters that lets you scan and rank LinkedIn profiles or CVs in seconds using custom logic such as has changed jobs fewer than three times since 2020, or worked at two leadership roles in a tech-driven environment, or based on profile and work history, is likely to have experience in employer branding or digital HR. So he joins me now on Zoom for a quick demo. Hey, Giannis, how are you today?
Hey, Chris. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks.
Nice. All
It's
right. So what's the premise of this tool, Hyperscan?
The premise is that, well, as a recruiter or even a salesperson, as a BDR specialist, right, you're always kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to searching on LinkedIn. So either you're going very broad, right, not to miss out on anybody, and then you end up with just a list of hundreds and even thousands of profiles, or you're kind of going crazy on the Boolean search terms and the keywords and everything, and then you end up with like five people on that list, which is obviously not everyone. So what we're trying to do here is do what LinkedIn does best, right? Do a basic search, but then leave the AI to actually build a short list and leverage AI so you can define any kind of a custom yes or no question about anybody and set up your custom, as we call them, maybe scorecards, and filter out that batch of several thousand people immediately by the specifics that you're looking for.
Sounds like an easier way to X-ray LinkedIn almost. Is that?
Pretty much, yeah. It's like as we like to say, typically like recruitment in this sense kind of actually consists of the search phase, right? Is how you build your search query. And then the research begins where you actually take a look at the people you want to include or not in your shortlist. That research bit is aided by AI, yeah, to a very great extent.
Yep. On your website, you say you have a couple of audiences here in terms of use cases. Who's it for?
Yeah, so primarily right now, we're targeting recruiters, obviously people looking to build that short list for both an internal customer, their hiring manager, but also a lot for in terms of agency recruiters, working for external clients. Then we have a BDR, sales use case, for those cases where you need to go from the account to the person, right? Like finding the right people within different kinds of companies. The third one, which is more of a niche, but it's still there. It's investors looking for super early stage startups, literally qualifying founders as they first appear on the radar, right?
Mhm.
And but you can do it for other things as well. For example, I've seen founders looking at potential angel investors and kind of qualifying them and researching them, and different other use cases like that. So it's basically if you have like specific things how you need to filter out different LinkedIn profiles, then we can do it for you.
Very cool. Okay, share your screen. Let's go right into the demo here. Let's take a look.
Right. Yeah. Let's give a second, and we should be right here. So what I'm about to show you is a project that has been started, and I'll kind of orient you. Basically, this is the output of Hyperscan, but also tell you how we get to this point, right? So what we see here is there's a project where we have scanned about 1,000 people, and we have set up very specific parameters that we want to see there. Some are sort of like easy must-haves, like do they have experience with Kotlin, Elasticsearch, Kafka? But there's more stuff like, have they held a leadership position, a startup with around under 50 people for at least 3 years? These kind of compound questions. Industry experience. Do they have experience for any retailer or retail company? Something that is very difficult to do actually on LinkedIn. But you can also do negative questions like for example, we don't want freelancers, so are they a freelancer or not? You want to do diversity hiring, right? Do they have a female name? That's kind of an indication. And here on the right, I've also enabled some data columns, as we like to call them, where we basically just take out some specific things calculated or extracted from the company for the from the person's profile. So how do we get to this point? There's several ways we can add profiles into Hyperscan for scanning. One is setting up the connection with your ATS. Right now we support about 60 or so, the largest ADSs.
Okay.
Then we can use our LinkedIn extension. And that means, by the way, you can scan people that are already in your database. You can scan also resumes in your database. So you can use our LinkedIn extension. You can just paste in profile URLs if you have them from any other source. And finally, if you just have a bunch of resume files for analysis, you can also import them here. So I can show you sort of how you get people in using the LinkedIn extension. So We work with all versions of LinkedIn. That includes the regular free version, Recruiter Lite, Recruiter Pro, and Sales Navigator. So here, for example, this was actually a search that we did, just a very basic job title search, locations, and three must-haves that we wanted in this specific project. Sorry about that. Turn that off. Yeah, so three skills that we wanted to see and sort of years of experience, slicer, right? And then using our extension, we just pick a project you want to actually import everybody in and click on import, and it will import the first 1,000 results. Now, the way this import works is we not only import the person's profile, but also all the company pages associated with that profile. So the AI has a wealth of data to analyze. And this is how we can ask questions like, have they ever worked at, let's say, at an online auction site, right? Like eBay, for example, or something like that. And we don't do any data scraping. We actually rely on third-party providers to fetch public data with these profiles. So it's not like your account is doing any but scraping from LinkedIn. We're
Right.
not
Okay.
we don't want to go in that direction, right?
No,
So
you
it's
don't.
about, yeah, exactly. It's more about unlocking more value from already a good platform, right? So anyway, once that is done, it's basically just import here. I won't do it again. So then the profiles hit Hyperscan. Now, yeah, and then the fun begins. You can literally click on add a new question and ask anything that is yes or no. So anything that is actually something that you're looking for when you open up these profiles. Then, you already saw some of them. So once you get that table, you scan quite a few, right? And then you can sort of see that here on the left, we actually have all the data associated. We have enriched that data. So for example, if I don't know what R3 is, right, I can always check and it's easy. And all of this is available for the AI, as I said, to analyze. And then the magic happens is here, right? So first off, what we saw, right? We asked for three must-haves, but it turns out that actually the search doesn't have all three as must-have, right? Kotlin, Elasticsearch, and Kafka. So you can actually do filters. You can say, show me the ones that are fit in Kotlin and Elasticsearch and Kafka. That's two people out of yeah, quite a few that we scanned, right? So as judged by AI. But we can sort of reset that and maybe leave a few, right? Or you can also do like slicing and dicing, right? Let's say show me everybody with retail experience that has actually done anything in Kotlin. So now I have a mini list of 42. And now I can sort of work with this list and go through them one by one. I also always see how the AI reasons about this because we are asking the model to explain.
Mhm.
And this is crucial because we want our understanding of the question and the answer to be the same. That, the way the AI thinks is the way we think. So, for example, if we let's say yeah, Amazon is a retailer, right? Like if we agree on this, great. But then if there's something where the AI considers some other companies a retailer, we can always change the question, fine tune it, like have a better prompt, so to speak. So yeah, and then as we go through these, it's very easy to just say, let's say Anastasia is great, so we can approve her, and she will move into the approved profile list. You can make your own B list. You can dismiss people out, great, and then you'll get a nice short list going. And to help you with this as well, as I said, we have these data columns where we're adding things like calculated data, right? So for example, we can already want to maybe see the current company name. I'll put that up. And maybe I want to see years in the current position. I'll put that up as well. Maybe I don't want to target people that are super recent or have been somewhere longer for 10 years, right? So I can do save. I'll reset the filters. Just a second. And any of the data columns is filterable the same way as Excel would be. So let's say I want anybody who's at least 12 months to, let's say 36, right? And then we can select these search results. Plus you can do like, oh, is there anybody from Meta? Easy. Right, so it's kind of like a data slicing tool with the help of AI that you can sort of pull out the people that you want to see. And of course, if you build these mini lists, right, and if you see that hey, I've taken a look at 20 people and it seems to be perfect the way I've set it up, right? You can always, of course, also batch approve people, throw them in the approved, or vice versa. You can clean up the list, right? So, for example, here from the 951, once you start scrolling down, you'll see more and more red, right? So at some point, you can just start basically batch selecting people and say, like, listen, there's no green flags here, like
Yeah.
nothing, no signal, right? That's just noise. Let's throw it out and then kind of like focus on slicing and dicing further. So that's like a very short description. What happens after, several ways. You can put them back into your ATS in a different status, right? You can also just export all the data that we have and use those links to then use an outreach system, find emails. Like our job here is done.
Mhm.
Continue in your normal workflow.
Well, it's a pretty aptly named tool, I think, Giannis. It's you're hyper focused on scanning profiles, essentially. So
That's the idea. Yeah,
good
we
job
want
with the,
like yeah.
job with the
That's
name. Yeah.
yeah.
No, very good. I can see how sources would like something like this. It just really helps to drill down easier and find that good fit, you know.
Yeah, that's the idea. And we've kind of built because thanks to the modern language tool like large language models, it's a new and upcoming category. But the way we do this differently from a lot of peers that we've seen spring up is nowhere you'll see, unless you force Hyperscan to do it, but nowhere you'll see something where we say like, hey, is Will Kwan a fit, right, for this
Mhm.
position? Or an answers that says something like, yeah, like he's 75%. Because what we want to do is we want to use AI as a data analyst, right? As a data processor, where the recruiter or the salesperson actually defines the criteria and gets answers. And then you make a decision, right? The AI has given you some signal, right? Here's like some green flags. You should probably check these people out. You make a decision what you want to do with that, right? It's not like, yeah, like 78%. I don't know what it means. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah.
What type of specific AI models are you guys using behind the technology there?
Yeah, we're with the GPT-4o series right now, but testing the 4.1, which came out very recently, and also another combination with the reasoning model series. So
Good stuff. All right, show us the pricing on us. Let's
yeah, the
see.
price is
What's the
pretty
cost?
simple actually. Yeah, let me try and upgrade my own account. You'll see the billing page. Pretty like what do you call it? Pretty transparent with this. So on the what do you call it? Like single player mode, there's two actually. So the essentials comes at 99 per month. The pro comes at 329. The largest difference between them is whether you want the enriched profile information. So with this enriched profile information, you get every single company page that is associated with every profile. That's a lot of data.
Gotcha.
That's one. The second thing is, yeah, the scanning speed. The Pro gets priority on our list, right? So if the queue is not too busy, I mean, Essentials would get the same like priority, right? Like almost near instant. But if there's like a lot of projects right now, then it's standard. But all of them come with a fair usage policy of 10,000 profiles per month and 100,000 scans per month. So if you want to like rescan somebody, then you can do it like to a very large extent. Now, that's for the single player. The multiplayer mode, the team plan, it's basically this pro, but with the added benefit of collaboration. So you can sort of have several people in the same account, and then you get, the quota multiplied by the number of the team members. But this is also customizable because, yeah, we've seen companies adjust the number of people,
Mhm.
adjust the quota. So yeah, we kind of have quite some flexibility there to pick the right kind of, for what they need.
Yeah, it seems pretty affordable. I like the price point there is for what you're offering. You know, it's not too expensive. It's not,
It's what we're aiming for. We don't want to be cheap. We
yeah.
cannot be too cheap because we have our own AI
You
cost.
can't, you have to use, the
Yeah.
AI costs money
Um,
to use, right? So,
yeah. So that's that. But yeah, we don't want to be too expensive either. Just want to have like, yeah, we always think of how much time we would actually save and sort of the effort and the learning curve as well. So yeah, it's kind of where we are
very
now.
cool. Awesome. Tell the audience where to go to learn more.
But yeah, to learn more, it's very simple. You can go to hyperscan.co like this. Yeah, also see a quick demo video. You can get started right away. When you do get started, we actually give you a free trial with 500 profiles to be imported and scanned.
Oh, okay,
There's also
great.
a kind of demo tour, so it's kind of like self-serve. We don't force you into any kind of sales calls. You can sign up if you want, but if you'd like us to, you can always reach out, and I'll be popping up in that intercom bubble for a kickoff session because we like to kind of onboard people if they like to do that as well. So
Awesome. We can try before you buy audience, 500 free credits. That's pretty cool, Giannis. And thanks for taking some time out to show us the new tool here at Hyperscan.
thanks for having me, Chris. I appreciate that.
All right, that's a wrap, guys. See you next time. Thanks for watching.